Tayler Hadley.
And we are here with a legend. Miss Missy Hoskins is here. And Missy is a phenomenal individual. We've become friends over the years. We call her Missy Hoskins Cruise Planners is what we call her. And she's not just a cruise planner. She's a connoisseur of life. She's traveled all over the world. Very, very experienced individual. And also a person that gives back to her community. Very involved with Hub Life Charities as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Missy to the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So, Missy, this is your first time to tell the world. Everyone knows you, but this is your first time to pretend to tell the world that don't know you, who you are and what you do. So, go ahead.
Yes. So I am Missy with Cruise Planners. My website name is Just Pack and Go Vacations because I handle everything. You just pack and go.
I like it.
And I do land vacations, cruises, tons of cruises. The demand is incredible since COVID. It's nuts.
So what would you like a full switch? Like people are like, I got to make up for lost time type mentality. Is that what it is?
Yes. I call it revenge travel.
I like that.
When we were shut down and you couldn't travel, you couldn't cruise. Cruising was shut down for almost 2 years. That's all people want to do is what they can't.
Right.
Yep.
So, and social media has driven a lot of that too, because everybody's posting their vacation photos and it's FOMO.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fear of missing out.
How come I don't do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
How come we don't do that, honey?
Yeah.
Why aren't we on this trip?
Right.
Yeah.
And so the demand, I thought it would taper off after a couple of years. It's just gotten stronger. My sales, our reporting is really good and I'm able to track it. My sales right now, year to date, are 75% higher than this time last year.
That's awesome.
I think traveling is the new flex.
It is.
Right?
It really is.
And I do think there's, and maybe I could be wrong, but this is my interpretation, is that you see the younger generation investing more in that than they would be the white picket fence in the house.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
Those experiences, things that they can't be taken away,
Mm-hmm.
and the educational opportunities, like I was just in Europe. The history there is just incredible. It's mind boggling.
Let's talk about that. You are a world traveler. You've been everywhere and different cultures everywhere.
Yes.
Is that just, it's always been a passion of yours?
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since a very young age, I was 20 the first time I went on a cruise, but that was 34 years ago. That was a long time. People weren't cruising that much at my age at 20 years old. And I just always had a passion for travel. We, as a family, traveled. And so I guess that's where it was driven from, but I just love experiencing different cultures. And it really gives me a good perspective on how amazing it is to live here and, what we have available to us. I'm very thankful for the US and be able to live here because it's hard in some of those other countries.
Yeah.
When I hear kids, teenagers talk about, oh, they hate it here. They've got such a rough life. You haven't traveled.
Go to Mexico.
So once I had, yeah, exactly. Once I had kids, I wanted them to experience it. I wanted them to see those different cultures and for them to realize how fortunate they really are.
So yesterday, I met the Russian woman, 29 years old, Vitka. Vitka is her name. And
she has to put on the accent when he talks about her.
Listen to me. Listen. Russian woman. No, but in all sincerity, she was telling me like just how spoiled we really are. And that's what triggered me when you said that, because she's like, you Americans, she's like, you get bored so easily. And I told her it's because we're desensitized because of this and because of all the things that are around us that are constantly keeping our mind going. She's like, we didn't have any of this stuff in Russia to keep our minds going. It was propaganda shoved down their throats, and that's the only media they were privy to. And now she's come here and has a completely different life within 7 years. It's kind of crazy. So I'm sure you've seen that.
She experienced
everywhere.
Communism.
Yeah.
And how locked down they were. When I was just over in Budapest, we call it Budapest. They call it Budapest. Hungary. And went to Austria and Slovakia. Our tour guides explained a lot about how it was under communism, how locked down it was, and no freedoms. And we just take it for granted here.
Yeah. Well, it's also we're not taught that. Right. We're not, there's no American patriotism taught in school.
Right.
And there should be.
There used to be.
Well, even you had history class, which is fine. And then if you had a teacher that was engaging, you would learn something. But literally, like, patriotism should be something that's taught, like how grateful you need to be. Yes, your parents should instill that in you, but that's not going to happen. Not in today's world anymore.
No, and sometimes those kids need to see it firsthand. And
For sure.
do that for travel.
And I think that's the other thing about like traveling is that people always just think, oh, I'm going to go to like this beautiful place. But I think a really important part of it is learning the different cultures of where you're traveling to, because we are fortunate. I mean, there are places that have very beautiful scenes, but just like when I went to Mexico, there'd be like a beautiful beach. And then a block down the road, there were kids living in houses that the roofs were literally caved in,
They're shacks.
sleeping in hammocks.
Right.
So it's like, there's the good out of the vacation and the bad of, you know, seeing what other people have to go through. And here we are just vacationing there.
Right.
Enjoying the beauty.
Yeah, exactly.
So out of all the places you've been, let's start off with the first question. What is the most exotic?
Well, gosh, it depends on what you call exotic.
I was waiting for that response.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what was the most exotic?
It might be different than mine, but go ahead. Or lavish.
I think one recently was in Austria.
Yeah.
I want to go there so bad.
Ja, Austria, from.
Talk about lavish.
Is that how they talk?
Yeah. What?
Oh, I would
not. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I wouldn't be able to get around anywhere.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was just palace after palace after palace.
Really?
I couldn't put my phone down taking video. I'm like, when is this going to stop? I was in a horse-drawn carriage riding through the city.
That is awesome.
It was an amazing way to see the city.
Just how people live, like that kind of wealth. Just palaces everywhere.
And what they talked about was it's keeping up with the Joneses. Somebody had built a palace, and the next guy's like, well, I'm going to build mine bigger.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah.
They do it bigger in Austria.
It was incredible. Just the lavishness. Now, Paris is ornate and everything is beautiful.
Je m'appelle Regan.
But Austria was just blew my socks off. I couldn't believe it.
Was Paris friendly? Because I've never been.
Yeah.
And then you hear the stories all the time. They don't like Americans. Is that the case? Or?
Well, I've got a good story about that. Our first night in Paris, I've been twice, but our first night in Paris, we were in a restaurant and the waiter was very friendly and we were kind of surprised by it. We thought they'd be rude. So we asked him a question and we asked, we heard that French people are rude and don't like Americans. He said, there is a big difference in Parisians and the French. Parisians appreciate you and your tourism and the money that you spend here, and they consider themselves to be more elevated in their thinking. So when we were leaving to go to the airport, we experienced the other side.
French.
So we're outside of Paris.
You stupid
Charles
American.
de Gaulle Airport. And oh my gosh, they had a strike because they're always on strike over there. Right. So we couldn't get to our gate in time because of, buses that would have to bus us there. And we get to a security checkpoint and they're laughing because there's a bunch of us trying to run to our gate. So they decide to stop and open all of our bags as they're laughing at us. And incredible rudeness in the airport. But in Paris, it was amazing.
Okay.
And both times that I've gone, everybody was very friendly and hospitable. But I wouldn't, and I've been in other places in France and they were friendly as well. It's just that airport. Oh. Get there on time.
Duly noted.
So out of all the beach locations, which you consider the best?
We went to Bonaire and Curacao late last year. That was pretty incredible. It was more of an arid landscape.
So
which
for
was
the
surprising.
geographically challenged, are we gonna tell everyone where that is?
Well, it's in the Caribbean. Yeah, it's in the Caribbean.
I got people going, where the hell did she go?
It's part of the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And that's in Bonaire is where you'll find the salt flats where most of our salt comes from.
Awesome.
But they had natural bridges where the stone formations created bridges. The water was just incredible.
What about Thailand?
I
You ever been
haven't
there?
been
I
yet.
want to go so
Yeah.
bad.
It's just so hot.
True.
Well, I mean, come on, it can be harder than Florida.
It's pretty hot.
What the humidity factor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty hot.
Really?
Yeah. But there's a good money exchange there.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. But I've
A lot of-
sent people there and they love it.
Yeah, my parents, that's the next on their bucket list. And I'm just trying to convince them.
Thailand?
Yeah, I'm just trying to convince them to let me go.
I think the vacations
please.
stop after a certain age. Not in my family though, apparently, because my daughter's still latching on
Not
Yeah.
fair.
everywhere we go.
I still expect an Easter egg basket, so I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
want an Easter egg
Okay.
basket. That sounds fantastic. Okay, so beaches, you said the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: comparison to Florida beaches, and that where do we rank?
Well, we have some amazing beaches.
Yeah.
Lido Key, that area. I mean, we've got some of the top beaches right here.
Do people contact you for local stuff?
Sometimes, but I don't book domestic.
Right.
It's just not in my wheelhouse. It's not. I stick with the things that I'm really excited and passionate about.
Right.
And that way I can really dig in and learn and be able to give them the best advice. I don't book domestic anymore.
So what's your palette? I'd like to know your palette, your taste palette. What is your go-to? What's your favorite? If you're traveling,
Europe.
like you have to have, okay, yeah, Europe.
Yeah.
So
Europe.
if you're in Europe, what is the must have?
Well, it's all so different.
Right.
I prefer, now you can do land tours, land vacations.
Mhm.
But I find a lot of people want to see too many places in a short amount of time, and it's exhausting. Getting from one place to the next, you're either taking a plane, train, or a bus,
Right.
and having to check into the next hotel. You don't have the time to really get to experience it.
Right.
So I say a minimum of 3 days in each place so that you have the time, to be able to explore that area. But the easiest way to kind of get a taste of where you want to go back to is to cruise.
Yeah.
And you can do ocean cruises, but when I went to Austria and Hungary and Slovakia, it was on a river cruise. So you can see those smaller areas.
What's the meal there? Like I'm in Slovakia,
Mhm.
and what's the meal to have?
It kind of all blended
Slovakia.
together, Slovakia, because they would still have the goulash there. They're all so close
Goulash.
to each other, but the goulash was amazing. Potato pancakes, chimney cakes, that type of
I
thing.
love potato pancakes.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm sorry, I'm so immature. There's a movie where the guy call someone a potato pancake. It just hit me.
I would love to be a potato pancake. In fact, if I was a food, I
Look
think
at
I
you,
would
potato
be a
pancake.
potato pancake.
All right. So, but still, not answering my question. What is your favorite? Like, what's your go-to? Like, if out of
If
all
you were
of
gonna
them,
die tomorrow,
yeah,
where
like what
are you
is
going?
it? Where are you going to eat?
Going to eat.
Where are you going? Like, it's your last meal. Out of all the
Oh.
countries you've been to, where are you traveling?
Oh.
Well, you're the world traveler.
There's some amazing French food. I got some goat cheese in Paris that
Goat
just
cheese.
kicked us out of
It
the
sounds so
room.
delightful.
Oh my gosh, it was
Yeah.
so strong. We had to move it out of the room. Even inside the refrigerator, it stunk so bad.
Yeah?
It was that good.
Yeah, the worst. The more
So the
mold, the more mold,
stinkier,
the better.
cheesy, the better.
That's only in certain things.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make
Yeah.
sure we're on that same thing.
Are you looking at me
Josh-
like I need to know that, sir?
Tanner, I apologize once again. He's away.
Yeah, once
and
again, Tanner, we can't.
we're just
count on
ruining his
Regan.
podcast.
Keep it together for 30 minutes.
Italy
Yeah,
was
well, yeah.
incredible.
You haven't even talked about Italy yet. Let's go.
know,
Let's
I
talk
know.
about Italy.
Well, this year is the Jubilee, the Catholic Jubilee.
Okay.
So it is packed this year. So, I wouldn't suggest going this year. I had somebody yesterday contact me about going to Italy in July. I'm like, no, it's too late because of the Jubilee. Things are booked up. All you're going to get is the leftovers, and it's overpriced right now.
Gotcha.
But next year is a great place for Italy because so many people went this year that next year it's going to calm down.
I've heard a lot from friends who have gone that it's not very cleanly.
Well,
like the streets and the
yeah,
to travel
like
through.
my dad was in Rome, and his comment was, "Why don't they pressure wash these buildings?"
Yeah.
Like the Colosseum. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Thousands of years old.
Yes, that's true. Because even
So
like their like normal buildings and stuff, it seems like all
it's
of that
much better
was
than New York City
well,
with
I believe
garbage
that.
sitting in the
I
streets.
believe that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just came back. Well, it's been December, and I like New York during December because it's the beautiful holidays and all that stuff. But God, every time I go there, I feel like it gets worse. Just
So,
urine and
yeah.
ugh.
Yeah. Where
There's no regulation.
you're not going to find that in Europe. Now I did notice Austria. When we were in Austria doing that horse-drawn carriage, the mayor of the city, they said that that was where we were at, was the Parliament building. They said they don't even have guards. They have zero
Mm.
crime there. And they have like a concierge at the door. And then we happened to see him doing an interview on the street with his back to us, nobody behind him. I mean, no protection. That wouldn't happen here, in a
No,
huge city
not
like
at
that.
all.
It's just incredible. And that it was spotless there. But there's huge fines in a lot of European cities too for any kind of littering.
Really
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're very
interesting.
careful about it.
Well, I mean, there's fines here for littering, but no one cares.
Yeah, no one
Well,
listens.
It's never
to it.
enforced, probably.
They enforce them there.
That's the problem.
It is spotless.
Yeah.
Well, Pasco County.
Stop it.
You
Stop it.
need to get on that.
Oh, hold on. We have Thomas Holcomb.
Ooh,
The
some
Aqua Blue. What did he
comments.
say? Of course. So
Yeah,
let's get it.
Yeah.
It's either let's go, let's get it. We know what Aqua Blue is gonna say. We love some Thomas. Brian Farrow just joining. Tomorrow is the big day for Real ID if you're flying domestic. So what's
Yes.
that all about?
So make sure that you have the gold star on your driver's license.
What
That
the shit?
means, yes, check them now. That means that
I
your
don't have
driver's
mine in my
license is a
pocket,
real
but-
ID. Now,
I gotta go star.
yes, most of us don't have to worry about it because
cool.
they
Oh, I
started
definitely
doing it
will.
years back. Whenever you renew, you'll have the real ID.
So what is that? What is the purpose?
It's just extra security.
So I get through the airport faster.
No.
Damn it.
Nope.
Screw you,
it's not
Gold
global
Star.
entry.
So they can guarantee that you're an American
Oh.
citizen traveling. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah, because you had to provide more documents to be able to renew.
So this is more sufficient.
Mhm.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Farrow. That is great. Anyone else? Is that it? Aaliyah,
You already know what to do with that, Aaliyah. You already know what to do.
I need a
with
potato
that, girl.
pancake. I need a potato pancake advertisement.
We need to go get some potato
Potato-
pancakes.
I'm gonna have to
together.
play the clip later.
Yeah.
There's another word they use too. We will get into that later. Sorry, Tanner. All right, what else we got? Is that it? Are we done, Jesse? All right. Jesse's like
Where's
she's
all of our friends?
he's quiet
Bring
back
on
there.
The comments,
Jesse's
guys.
quiet back there. The Wizard of Podge. I get thumbs up from him in the back, and that's about all you see.
That's why he's so great. I
He
love
is
that.
he is great. Silent but deadly.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got a lot going on. You're involved with community work. You are a board member of Hub Life Charities. Thank you so very much. And we also have a golf tournament coming up,
Do.
which your hubby is
Mhm.
the chair of. Can you articulate that a little bit?
Yes, my husband Steve Hoskins is chairing this. It's going to be at Cypress Run, which is a private golf club.
Mhm.
So you can't just go there and play. This is a great opportunity to get into this private club. It is immaculate. It is amazing. And people pay a lot of money to play there and be members there. So it's a great opportunity to have fun, advertise your businesses, and be able to mingle with those that are active in the community.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
You're a whole sponsor.
We are a whole sponsor.
Yep.
Yep. You're a
Thanks,
whole sponsor.
Tanner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tanner. for
We're a whole
that.
sponsor.
Yeah.
So I'm
Um,
excited. I can't play golf to save my life, but
Be fun though. It'll be a good time.
maybe I'll
For sure.
get some
Yeah.
practice
I just want,
swings in.
I just want everyone know my team consists of Josh, Mr. Ape Shot himself, phenomenal golfer, Steve Hoskins, Vincent Serbini, and myself. So I'm gonna take the trophy now and just let you know I've won the first annual
I'm gonna be
tournament.
trolling you guys.
There's
the
no
whole
way.
time.
There with you and Hoskins.
Do you
There's
play
no
golf
way.
good?
There's going to
Really?
be some good golfers.
I don't know.
out
But
there.
Frank Carmine's
I
like,
suck.
if you
Can't
have
hit the
Steve,
ball.
it's over. He
Yeah.
goes, that's not even fair. He goes, I'm not even playing if Steve's playing. So Steve, you better show up, man. You better, because you know I'm
Show up and
not.
show out.
I'm the worst golfer on that team for sure. There's no doubt on my mind. But I'll hit a long ball here and there.
Steve and I picked a cool sponsorship. It's the hole-in-one sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit a hole-in-one, you have the opportunity to win, or you will win, a either $5,000 vacation or a $5,000 putting green, which my husband, Steve Hoskins with Southern Outdoors, is a putting green designer.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your option, whichever you want. And
what would you do?
Dang, I think I need to join one of these golf teams.
Yeah.
Even though I suck.
I don't know, man.
He just hosted a golf trip
I
this
would definitely
weekend,
take the vacation. Are you kidding me? I can't play golf, so I could definitely use a vacation.
All right, I gotta think of that one. Gotta hit the hole in one first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Don't, because I will.
You always work better under
So
pressure.
Steve
Trying to
handles the golf trips with cruise planners too, because he's the golf fanatic. And he just hosted a golf trip this last weekend with 36 guys. And somebody
Really?
did get a hole-in-one over the weekend.
Wait a minute. So that's like a little niche thing.
Mm-hmm.
So and then he goes like just to take him around and show him the place.
Well, he wants to go.
That's
another.
But still, that's kind of a cool, because he's a cool guy to hang out with
He's
too.
a lot of fun.
So that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That is cool.
All right, I'm gonna get a mustache and a beard.
You don't need that to
I'm gonna
play
hit
golf.
You up, Steve.
You could be and wear your attire as a female and play golf. Just putting that out there. I do need to talk to your husband though.
I don't know. She said a group of guys. So I was just like,
There's a
I'm
group of
gonna
girls
join
could
the
go
group
in,
of
guys. That would
Yeah.
be weird. Did you have women go on these trips
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
co-ed?
there's co-ed.
Really?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
guess that
it's
could be
fun.
like a single mingle meet, right?
Could be.
You go to Austria and you play golf.
Well, then in that case, none of us are going. So
Truth. All right. So we got that coming up. We forgot the dates. What was the date again?
June 9th.
June 9th.
Yep.
June 9th. And we will put a link somewhere
Yes.
to talk about that.
and we will all be there.
We still have a handful of teams of golfers available, but it's close to selling out.
So let's talk about your community work. What are you passionate about?
Well, I am passionate about what Hub Life Charities does for the community. I'm really passionate about it. I know where the money's going. I'm on the committee,
Yeah, you
as
are.
you know, that helps decide who gets what. 100% of the proceeds go to the community.
Yeah.
So we're helping, like during the hurricanes, business owners that were affected from the floods, had equipment destroyed. We were able to help them.
That's right.
We're also
Forgot about some
able
of
to
that.
help foster children with their necessities or Christmas for them when they have nobody else buying for them. We also help with sponsorships for summer camps for less fortunate kids. I tell you what, there's a lot of parents that really struggle in the summer to afford that extra care, and this helps them. So it really helps the community, our local community. I see so many charities out there where there's such a small percentage that goes to the actual
It's true.
place that it's supposed to go to. 100% of this goes to it. That is my personal guarantee because I oversee.
You're there. You oversee it. So Missy doesn't allow me to buy jet skis.
So
and
take
stuff.
that, haters. Take that, haters. Put that in your
No, we
pipe
won't.
And
and
you've heard me
smoke
say
it.
no.
Yeah.
Some
we're
things.
not buying jet skis.
Right.
No, but you know what's really nice though, and about you and some others as well. It's not just, let's do that because someone said something,
Right.
whether it be myself or another. It's actual real discussion.
Right.
And we're like, hey, what is the community focus or what should be the community need
Right.
be? It's a team effort, which is
Right.
which is
There's
pretty
a
awesome.
group of us that, and we all discuss it and go back to our mission. Does this fit our mission?
Yep. I think that's why we mesh so well with RJK. Because Tanner just is always willing to help out. And, obviously it's funny, like they've done so much and given so much.
Oh, yes.
And I still think, and I think it's going to wind up happening, is that they're going to wind up being their own charity as well, just because they do so many things for the community.
Right.
It's absolutely insane. But we've meshed very well with this
Maybe not.
company.
If you want to find out, you gotta stay tuned.
You gotta stay tuned for sure. But no, and I do appreciate all your work. And not only that, you drive all the way down from Brooksville. And you're always down here. You're always willing to help. You're showing up at these events. And whether it's just showing up to be there to show support or lend a helping hand, you're there, and your husband's there too. So
And they're a good time.
yeah, they are. They're funny people.
I'm still waiting on our girls' night now that I'm in the area. We're gonna.
So what else is new and exciting in your life?
Oh, just staying busy.
Yeah.
One thing I've got to say, I've had to disappoint a few families recently,
Hmm.
and it's hard, when that happens. I've had people recently trying to book for the summer,
Mhm.
and there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Just like anywhere? Is it?
Well, if they're trying to book cruises, like I had one a couple of weeks ago, he contacted me a month ago, but didn't do anything, and kind of him hawed around, and he needed connecting cabins
Mm.
because these cabins only hold up to 4 people.
Mhm.
Some ships have cabins up to 5, but
Yep.
there's a handful of them,
Right.
just a few, and those sell out a year in advance.
Yep.
So he needed connecting cabins.
Mm.
They are very hard to find. They'll sell out a minimum of 6 months, and if it's a peak season,
Mm.
a year they'll
Yep.
sell out. And I happened to find 2. He waited, and I told him, "This is it. Out of all the sailings across your dates, this is it."
Mhm.
And waited a few hours, they were gone. And they're going to have to find something else to do for summer. It happens every year where I have people contact me too late. So if you want summer plans,
Mm.
and if you have what I call the dreaded 5, the family of 5,
Mhm.
Mhm.
it makes it really hard for
Really?
resort rooms,
Yep.
cabins on cruise
That is
ships.
true because if you do 2 queens, you're kind of screwed. The
Right.
youngest kid kind of gets the shaft.
Right.
Welcome to my family.
Yeah.
Mine
It's the
too.
dreaded 5. It's really hard. So,
I don't know that was a thing.
oh yeah.
Do they still
And
do rollaways?
not
It's
on
not really a thing, is
no,
it?
not on cruise ships. They
Yeah.
don't. They have either a sleeper sofa or pull down beds,
Yep.
either from the
Right.
side of wall
The
or
ceiling.
Pullman from the ceiling.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
But I
you know,
think only certain ages can sleep on the pull down ones
Probably weight
too.
restriction.
So
well, and some people want to book for 4 and it's with grandma. She can't get it
get
up
up
on
in
that.
that. Yep. Nope.
It's an issue. So planning ahead gets you the best pricing. And I'm also linked with the cruise line. So I'm automatically notified if your price goes down. I go in and get that savings for
Oh,
you
that's
and bring
awesome.
down your price. I
Yep.
sent a notice to somebody just yesterday. They saved $500, just because the cruise price went down. If you book on your own, the cruise line's not going to tell you.
Huh.
They're also not going to tell you that you're putting grandma on that Pullman bed.
Nope.
And when you call in or when you book online, when you call in, they aren't travel advisors. They are just people with a job answering the phone
Yep.
and putting orders in. They will sell you anything. They're not going to advise you and say why you don't want that guarantee cabin, which a guarantee cabin is you let the cruise line choose the
Mhm.
location. It's the lowest priced one, but there's a reason for it.
Yep.
If you're choosing a guarantee balcony, you could have a lifeboat in front of your balcony hanging and completely block your view.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to warn people about those things. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I book these every day. So I know all the things to look for. And I've been on 90 cruises over all the cruise lines. So I know the ships well. I had someone last week send me one that they wanted on a ship out of Tampa, but I know the other ships that they've sailed on with me, and they're larger, newer ships. And I warned her, out of Tampa, those are the oldest, smallest
Yep.
ships. This ship is 30 years old. The one you were just on was 2 years old.
Mm.
Do you want that? She's like, oh, no. She was just looking at price. The
Mm-hmm.
price is lower for a
Yep.
reason. And you just have to know what that reason is. And I can help you.
Right.
It costs you nothing. I have, because we sell so much, we have negotiated rate cabins. And it's usually 100 to 150 cabins per sailing that I get at these lower rates. I found them as much as 70% off.
Oh, wow.
And I can add onboard credit. And those negotiated rate cabins are for double occupancy. So sometimes I find it's a better deal to put a family 4 in 2 cabins of 2
Mhm.
than it is to put a family 4 in 1,
Mm-hmm.
because my rates are so much lower. So my rates are driven by the cruise line, but I have extra discounts and amenities. It may be a free specialty dinner or a soda package or onboard credit
Mm-hmm.
that I can add on top of it. So you'll never pay more going through me.
I also had
I'm
another question
yeah.
too. Whenever you get finished.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so my parents, they do Royal Caribbean a lot, but what they do is like the whole casino thing where they get the rewards
Mhm.
and stuff. is it better for people who are doing that to just stay with their rewards, or can they still get even more discounts by going through you with their rewards?
Well, it depends on how much of a discount it is. You
Mhm.
know, if somebody's getting a free cabin, I can't get them a free
Yep.
cabin. But if they're getting $200, $300, yeah, I can probably beat it.
Eat it. Okay.
And get them on better ships, because those offers
Yeah.
are usually on the older,
Yep.
less desirable ships that they're trying to fill because people aren't booking.
Yeah. So I think they just made platinum their
Mhm.
last cruise, but every time they do get something, it's, the smaller
Yes.
ships.
Right.
And so my mom's kind of like, I'm kind of over the little boats. Like, I
Yeah.
want to go on the big boat. We pull up to
Right.
Mexico. Here's our little boat. Here's the
Right.
big boat. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, I want to
Yeah.
ask her about that.
I've been on about 40 royal cruises.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was our cruise line for a long time, and
Mhm.
now we've kind of moved to celebrity now that we're empty nesters.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's more adult oriented, elevated, classier,
What is the
fewer
best one you've ever
kids.
been on?
Gosh, it depends on, for a ship, like a large ship,
Yeah.
Celebrity Beyond.
Celebrity Beyond.
Yeah, or Edge class.
Okay.
There's Beyond, XL, Apex,
Mhm.
all of those, Edge. But then for, Europe, like river cruising, I mean, AMA Waterways was incredible.
Do you get like an inside scoop of when new ships are coming out?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And many times we're able to go on the inaugurals so that we can see the ships before anybody
cool.
else,
That's
or
really
at
cool.
least ship tours.
Right.
Those are offered to us. And, here's the other thing. You may see reviews online, but you don't know the perspective of the person reviewing it.
Mhm.
Do they think that the Motel 8 is great?
Right,
Or
right,
do
right.
they only book the Ritz?
Yep.
And so I'm always following what the travel agents, because we're all traveling all the time, and we give feedback to each other in these online forums and saying, hey, so and so's gone downhill, or their food has gotten really bad. And we know, because we all travel so much, we know what to expect for the dollar, where someone in the public, it may be their only cruise, or they've been on two. I talked to somebody recently, they've only been on Carnival. Well, they have nothing to compare it with.
Yep.
So that's where I can help advise, since I've been on all of them. And different cruise lines fit different demographics.
Yep.
And even within those cruise lines, I call them like car brands. You'll have the Chevy Spark, or you have the Chevy Corvette.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
one do you want? It's still a
Mhm.
Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
Tanner
And-
Kielty just made a comment. Bring that up, Mr. Missy Hoskins cruise liner is awesome. That's
Yep.
what he said. He also said, she helped us have an amazing vacation with my family.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Tanner, I apologize. I don't.
It's all
Why do you
love.
even bring her on here
It's
anymore?
all
I can just handle
love.
it from here on out when you're on vacation. Okay. He's not on vacation. He's out in the field somewhere working. Yeah.
Very hard.
That's what he's
he
doing.
and his wife were a pleasure to work with. I was
Good.
glad to be able to help them.
Good. So let me ask you this, because we've got to wrap it up, because we are at 35 minutes. Out of all the places, everything you got on, the food, all that stuff, number one destination, period. Is it tough?
I can't answer that. Everybody has their own
Preference.
Okay.
Yeah, and what they like. Do you want the beach, or do you want history?
Mm.
Do you want mountains? What do you want?
Is there a place to go and get all of that?
No.
I want to go to Hawaii. That's all I know. I'll be reaching out to Missy about that very soon.
Yeah, I've been to all the major islands in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Where
I
have
heard
you
it's
not
expensive,
been,
though.
Missy?
Asia.
Do you want to go there?
Ooh.
Yes.
You
Me
do.
too.
Because Steve has gone several times in his bowling career,
Mhm.
and they just idolize bowling. And
Hmm.
but he has fond memories, but he was escorted and had a chaperone and an
Yeah,
interpreter
of course.
and all that.
Steve Hoskins. Of course.
But-
Interpreter.
But
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Asia. So that's on our bucket list for next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So look at the camera. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you, your information, all that stuff.
Yes. So Missy Hoskins Cruise Planners is my Facebook name. You can reach me at 727-338-3253. You can visit my website at Just Pack and Go Vacations.
Nice. And I think we have one more comment, Jesse, if I saw one. I don't want to leave anybody out. Heidi,
Oh.
you know her. I traveled with
Yes.
Steve and Missy
Yes.
recently.
Yes.
They are a ball of fun.
Yes. In Europe on the river cruise that we were just on.
Excuse me, Heidi. Okay, we didn't have that privilege.
Thank you, Heidi, for tuning in.
Thank you for letting us feel nothing today. Thank you. We feel like nothing.
He's a jerk, Heidi. Get used to it.
Yeah, it is. And Aaliyah said, "Oh my God, check Messenger." Oh no. Oh no. So Aaliyah does our lovely
Aaliyah is
creative
my
ads
fave.
and check Messenger. And
Yeah, she did some ads for us a few years ago.
this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Thank you, Aaliyah. We'll go back to that later.
We love
All right.
you.
All right. And Dan Flowers said Hawaii was awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to go.
You sent him
Yeah.
there? You sent him there?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
she did.
He did.
I'm
I
just-
will be transparent.
There he is. There's Dan now.
Hawaii was. Hey man, we hope you're feeling better, Dan. I know you just went
Yes,
through a procedure.
everyone, please pray for Dan
Yep.
and his big heart.
And thank you, Missy Hoskins, cruise planners. Telling you said that one more time. The one part I will say about Hawaii, Hawaii, is don't go to the west side of the island.
Why?
It's so odd how everything's so luscious and green and beautiful. It's like a rainforest and this and that over the island. But if you go to the north side of the island, it's like it turns into desert. It turns into like Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's like the poverty section of, like, I'm talking homeless Hawaii. It's so sad.
It's the direction of the winds.
It's crazy.
You have to go to Maui or
Yeah.
Kauai.
Yeah.
Maui has more flat land.
Yeah,
It's just beautiful. That grass there is just so soft.
It is.
And Kauai is just so lush and
Mhm.
natural.
It is.
The
I guess that's what it
weather
would be.
there is just incredible.
It's just so odd how it's green, then all of a sudden, death on the other side. It's so odd, but it really was. But on that, it opened my eyes to, like, and I talked to people, I just talked to them like, so how do you live like this? Like, what are you talking about? We fish, we live on the beach, we have a tent, we don't need anything else. I was like, good perspective.
Yeah.
Because everything else there, it's like $27
if I was
for a
gonna be
Whopper.
homeless, I'd definitely want to be homeless in Hawaii. I'm
It
just
was
saying.
$21.99 for a Whopper.
Yeah. It's expensive there.
For a Whopper, $21.99 for a Whopper.
I take back what I just said.
So you're spending. So literally,
I don't want to be homeless in Hawaii.
I think the food bill was over $5,000 for 8 days.
Yep.
It was absolutely. But
well, it's gonna be a long time
awesome
till I
trip.
go to Hawaii after all.
Awesome trip. All right, guys, we are wrapping up Kielty's Corner. Thank you, Tanner Kielty, for wherever you are in the world, and of course, Taylor.
I'm his favorite.
You're sure.
I am.
Josh is here, and the Wizard of Pods, and of course, Missy Hoskins. We thank you.
Yes.
Kielty Corner is out. Until next time. See ya.
See you guys.